by Spirit Tarot, and I'm here with a message for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements. This will be a general message, so whatever I see is what I'm going to read. So if it's love, money, career, whatever it is. What are the most important messages for Scorpio at this time? Benevolent ancestors, guardian angels, spirit guides, those that come to us and in and through unconditional love only. What messages do you have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements? What do they need to know, see, and be aware of at this time and moving forward? Most important messages for Scorpio. I hope you guys are well. I have been well. I'm trying to close the gap between uploading. It's getting shorter and shorter every time. I promise. I'm getting there. One day I'll be consistent. All right, messages for Scorpio, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and any other significant placements. And that one was not a good one, so we got to do one more. Let's do one. There we go. Much better. All right, can we do 9 cards for Scorpio? Comfort, confirmation, clarity, whatever it is that they need at this time. Let's get it for them. 4 of Cups on the split. We got the Knight of Swords, 4 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, King of Cups. That flipped, but it flipped back. So it didn't mean it. It didn't mean it. 7 of Cups, 4 of Swords. This is my Neopets deck for my millennial cohorts. I don't even know what that word means. I assume I used it right. For my millennials out there. I don't know, you guys. I've been kind of in a silly mood all day, honestly. So don't be surprised if I'm a little bit hyper during this reading. All right, bottom of the deck, we got the 8 of Pentacles, okay? This is talking about focusing on honing in on something that you want to build a skill in. This is talking about an energy of, obviously this is referring to work, but it doesn't have to be like your career. It doesn't have to be your job. It could just be a hobby, a craft, something that you have been putting a lot of time and attention into so that it can fully and properly develop. All right. 8 of Pentacles. Why is the 8 of Pentacles here for Scorpio? 2 of Swords. Let me get all the cards and then we'll get into it. Promise, promise. 2 of Swords, 2 of Pentacles, Page of Cups, 2 2s right there. Hierophant, hidden energy. So this could definitely mean that you are dedicated to something. You've made a commitment to something. This could even be college, higher learning, a different level of proficiency in something, okay? And it also talks about being the one that people come to for help. So either you need to seek a mentor or you are becoming the kind of person that people want mentorship from, honestly. It looks like with the 7 of Cups here at the center, you have a lot of options at your disposal, and that might be causing some confusion for you. You might be somebody who's typically, I don't know, very clear on your direction or very clear on what it is you want to do or how you want to move forward. And with whatever's going on around you right now, I wouldn't say that your circumstances are causing confusion, but what I will say is that you might feel a little bit dazed and confused. Something about, I can't believe people let me do this. I used to think that about being a parent, like I was just a regular person, wild and free, and then I had a baby, and now I'm a mom, and like somebody's letting me do this, like ain't nobody gonna come and check, make sure she's okay, and believe me, she's okay. But what I'm saying is like you might feel that way. You might feel like a little bit of imposter syndrome, or you might be in a position to elevate, and once you get to a certain level, it might create confusion within you, not just because of like this idea of having imposter syndrome or like as if you don't deserve what you've worked for, because you absolutely do. You have definitely worked for everything that you have. But it's just this sense of like, somebody is really letting me do this. Nobody's going to come and check and make sure I'm doing the right thing. No, because you've already established and proven that you are somebody who operates with integrity, somebody who really cares about what they do, somebody who really invests the time and the effort and the energy into becoming more proficient or better or whatever it is that you want to accomplish. I just feel like you're not afraid to apply yourself. It doesn't matter how long it takes. Some of you have been in school for a very long time, and there's probably people around you like, when are you going to graduate? And he's like, well, I have graduated a couple of times and I'm going to keep graduating. I'm just going to keep pursuing this. Some of you guys are just kind of perpetual students, always wanting to learn, whether that's formal or informal, whether that's at an institution or it's just through YouTube University. It doesn't really matter. You're just somebody who's like, I don't know, always looking to learn something new, Not necessarily to do something new, but it's like learning new skills so that you can apply it to something that you already feel passionately about. There's more than one way to go about whatever it is that you're trying to go about right now. Now, I don't exactly know what that is. And to be honest, when I started this reading, I kind of felt a little bit scattered, like I wasn't sure what I was going to say. That is not typical for me. So I know that I'm channeling the energy of somebody who might feel a little bit, I don't know, dazed and confused in a sense. I don't even know why I use that term. But what I mean by that is like, I don't know, it's like indecisive, I guess, or unable to fully articulate your feelings or your thoughts or your inspiration, or like, it's like, you know how when maybe you're first learning to draw and you have a picture in your mind of what you're trying to illustrate and it just never comes out right. That's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Oh, you know what it is? Pluto is in retrograde. Pluto is in retrograde, and Pluto is your ruling planet. Okay, so look into it. Look, I'm not an astrologist. I don't know everything, but I do know that. Okay, so at the time I'm recording this video, Pluto is in retrograde. So, and that is your ruling planet. So that might be for why you feel a little bit off, or why you feel a little bit woozy, or like your energy is being affected in a way. That is definitely why. So if you have significant Scorpio placements, please look into what this Pluto retrograde might mean for you at this time. And that might actually give you clarity in itself, because it's like being diagnosed with something. Once you give it a name to this mystery thing that's going on with you, it just kind of helps you feel a little bit better. So if you've been feeling a little bit out of sorts, a little bit out of it, really look into what this Pluto retrograde might mean for you and how it might affect your life. And that might give you some clarity about how you actually want to move forward, okay? I do see you having options, but there's only for you, it's more black and white. A lot of people might see you and think that the world is at your fingertips, and it pretty much is. But at the same time, you are, I don't know, very direct with your energies. Like you only want to invest in that, which you feel really strongly drawn to or really passionate about. So you might have all of these options and all of these opportunities, but there's only a couple of things that really draw your attention or call your attention to them, that you so much so that you want to focus solely on those things. And you might feel like you're being pulled in two different directions. There might be a direction that feels a little bit more risky, that feels a little bit more reckless, that feels a little bit less secure. And there might be a direction that feels very safe and comfortable. Neither choice is wrong, right? But the choice is yours. So if you choose not to take a risk, I don't want you to feel like you should be regretting not taking the risk. But my thing is if you think you might regret it, then take the risk. Because would you ever regret not taking the safe path? Maybe you have regret not taking the safe path in the past. You're a Scorpio after all. I mean, you flirt with danger on a regular occasion. Transformation is your middle name. So it's like you already know that whatever you want, you can have. So it's like, I don't know, it's like having this power. It's like being omniscient or omnipotent and just being able to do whatever you want. And just like, I don't know, kind of just sitting on your hands like, well, I don't really want to do anything right now. It's like it's too much. Maybe it's too much pressure to choose, to pick a direction, to commit yourself to something. Maybe that's what you're feeling. Maybe it's not indecisive. Maybe it's non-committal. Right? Maybe you're not trying to commit yourself to anything at this time. And maybe, like I said, you're used to being very direct and very decisive and making a choice and sticking through it. And that's why you feel so off right now, is because it's like, I usually know what I want and I don't know what I want right now. So let's clarify a little bit here. 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups for Scorpio. Can we talk about that? 7 of Swords. You're avoiding making a choice. But even the avoidance is a choice, right? Even avoiding making a decision is a choice, right? Ace of Cups. Something is speaking to your heart. It's possible that you're avoiding investing in this thing because you understand that it's going to be something that you're responsible for. 7 of Swords, 10 of Pentacles. What's interesting is I was talking about becoming a mom, okay? And that's kind of like this weird, unavoidable responsibility, unless you just choose to not be a good mom, right? Or unless you just choose to not become a mom, right? And why I'm relating it to this is because there's something that you are avoiding making a decision about because you know it's going to change your life. And you're worried that it's going to change your life in a way that it robs you of your autonomy or your independence or your ability to go and be and do, to change your mind, to move forward. And you might be a parent. This doesn't have to be about parenthood. I was just trying to relate that example because whatever this is feels quite permanent, okay? It really does speak to your heart. It really allows you to connect to your emotions. That is something that scares you. I think because once something has your heart, it's hard for you to let it go, or it's hard for you to not get overly attached or obsessive or commit too deep or too much. You might not feel as if whatever you're choosing or whatever it is that you're wanting to choose is also going to choose you back. But more so, I feel like whatever you want to choose is going to choose you back, and that you're going to be locked in. If this is a romantic relationship, you probably met someone at a time in your life where you weren't looking for anybody. And that's typically when they say it happens. Like, that's typically when they say, oh, you're going to meet your soulmate when you're not even looking, and they're just going to come out of the woodworks. It's different for everybody. It happens differently for everybody. So I'm not going to like perpetuate that. But what I will say is that you particularly were probably not looking for this person or looking for this opportunity if it's not specifically a person. And if it's not a relationship with this person, then it's like I wouldn't say it's a business opportunity. I don't even see it like something that has anything to do really with money. We do have a couple of pentacles here, but there's a bit of everything on the spread. So it's not like this is a super career focused reading. What I would say, this is more relational, or it has something to do with your longevity or something about your legacy. You are avoiding making a choice about this thing because you're avoiding committing to the thing. It's not that you don't want the thing, okay? But I will caution you to be aware that the longer you put off this decision, the more unwanted, if this is another person, that person is going to feel. Because we have the King of Cups here. This could be talking about you. If there's a cross watcher out there, this could be Scorpio, or this could be the cross watcher. This is fully matured masculine water sign energy, Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So if this isn't you, Scorpio, then it's somebody that you are connecting to, healing with, drawn to, somebody who brings you a lot of peace. You could also be reconciling with somebody, but I don't feel that as strongly. Somebody might be wanting to apologize to you and see if you guys can get back on track. But more so, I feel like you are at a place where you feel very stable and peaceful with your life. 444. Some of you guys might be saying that number repeated to you, 444. We also have 2 pages, which represents to me 2 people starting off on the same level, right? Somebody might be coming into it with a more practical attitude. Somebody might be coming into it with a more emotional, attached attitude, something like that. So there's whoever this person is, they're either bringing peace or they allow you to feel peace. You feel very much at home in their energy. And I think that you're just a little bit worried about settling too deep into that, because you are focused on other things. There are other things that you're worried about. And I do feel like this might be connected to some level of obsession, okay? I don't think you're obsessed with this person right now. I think you've probably been obsessed with your work, your crafts, your hobbies, something like that, right? And you understand that when you are in a romantic relationship, that it's harder for you to focus on the things that you feel productive doing, okay? This person is challenging you to get out of your comfort zone in a way, in a sense that you're very comfortable being intense with somebody, but I think that life has taught you that not everybody can handle that intensity. If this King of Cups doesn't represent you, it represents somebody who's very emotionally available. They are also capable of such great emotional depths. Have you ever met somebody who was just like so sweet and so kind, and you felt that from the depths of your soul? Like, you felt like this person didn't have a bad bone in their body. Now, I'm not saying that that's this person. I don't know if you feel that way about this person or not, but these people are the kind of people who spread joy and light everywhere they go. These are typically the people who have been the most traumatized, who have the option of turning into a stray ghoul, and instead they allow their light to heal and fix and to permeate any pain that they have maybe gone through. You might be this kind of person. You might have had a really troublesome or dark childhood, or really troublesome or dark adolescence or young adulthood that really caused you a lot of pain and a lot of heartache. And instead of allowing that to harden your heart, you understood what you were truly capable of as far as the depths that you could explore. And the depths reflect the height, right? So the most joyful people are always going to be the people who have had experiences that don't always reflect that joy. And it's because they've had these experiences and they understand the darkness that they so embrace the light, and that they are such a carrier and a bringer of light. I'm not sure if you're a light worker, or if you read tarot, or if you're a psychic or anything like that. You might have implications or indications of stuff like that in your chart, or on your what is it called, your birth chart. It's like some sort of report. I can't think of it, but it's like cafeastrology.com. They can do all types of reports. I love that website. Anyway, so you might be very intuitive and very connected to your own self or to your own spirituality because you have seen some things, you have experienced some things, you have gone through some things. And if that's not you, that's the person that you're connecting to. And that's why you can trust them, okay? You may not know this person as well as you think you do, or you may not know this person well because you haven't really had the opportunity to explore things with them. But I will say that they are, let's clarify this King of Cups. I will say that there's somebody who has seen a lot, who has been through a lot, and they've had a lot of really, I would say, dark experiences that, like I said, allow them or have pushed them towards the light instead of them just staying in that dark cloud. Clarifying this King of Cups, we have the Ten of Swords. So this might be somebody you have ended things with, or somebody that you have a past with that was kind of like, hey, I got closure on that. We're done with that. We also have the Nine of Cups. This person might be somebody who just really enjoys the hell out of life. Like, they do not take anything for granted. They're somebody who wants to taste all the flavors and see all the things. They're adventurous and they're intelligent. And they like to experiment. They don't confine themselves to one way of being or one way of thinking or one way of doing. We also have the Nine of Swords. This indicates someone might have a fear of being humiliated or rejected in some way, and you might have already rejected this person. To be honest, I don't really see this as like you guys have a negative history. Like I said, this could represent a reconciliation, an apology, making peace with someone or something. I can understand how it could be that. But I feel like it's more so representative of someone who you may have rejected in the past that you didn't really give a proper chance to or a proper opportunity to, when really they could end up being your Nine of Cups, right? Your total emotional fulfillment. And are we looking for total emotional fulfillment in other people? We are not doing that. You know why? Because we create the total emotional fulfillment within ourselves. And then whatever we pour into our cup is for us. Whatever flows out of the cup is for everybody else. The first person I ever heard say that was Iyanla Vanzant, and I have never agreed with anything more, right? So we're talking about emotional fulfillment as far as somebody else being in your life, them fulfilling that role to the best of their ability. I will say that this person has seen a lot of dark times. They've been through a lot. And even if you have rejected them, they're not holding it against you. I think they see something in you that you may not see in yourself. Okay? We also have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck as the hidden energy. Okay, that speaks for itself. I don't really have to explain that too much. You might feel like you are inadequate when it comes to this person, or you just don't have the time or the energy to give to another romantic relationship. But I'll tell you, if you're used to being with takers, this person is definitely a giver. They're not going to drain you of your battery. So anybody who comes to mind who drains you or makes you feel less than intentionally, or who takes from you, this is not the person that I'm talking about. This is potentially someone that you rejected in the past or friend zoned in the past in some way, shape, or form. Or maybe they're not your typical physical type. And the jury's out on that one, whether dating your type or dating outside of your type is better or worse. I don't know. I think people are just people, regardless of what their physical appearance is. But at the same time, this person may not be your normal physical type or who you would normally go after if this represents a physical person that is wanting to be in a relationship with you. I want to clarify this Page of Pentacles because the outcome energy is this Page of Pentacles, which is kind of hopeful and optimistic and ready to learn and ready to do. We got the Eight of Wands, we got the Queen of Swords, and the Five of Cups at the bottom of the deck. This is an energy of not wanting to change yourself to accommodate someone else. And I do also feel like it's reflective of a fear of making the wrong choice. Okay, the Queen of Swords is somebody who's highly intelligent. And specifically with this deck, as you can see kind of depicted in this card, this is somebody who is not afraid to detach themselves in order to better themselves, right? Even if what they're detaching themselves from is codependent, or even if what they're detaching themselves from claims to need them or want them or has to have them. It's like, no, I got things to do over here, and I'm not falling into that trap again. We also have the Eight of Wands, which means capitalizing on some sort of momentum. You might see a shift in your money, your finances, Or you might see a shift in your sales if you own a business. You might get a promotion. You might get confirmation of something that's incredibly positive for you. And I think ultimately you're going to decide that you don't really have time for this relationship. I don't know what you wanted to hear. I don't know what you would like me to say. I do think that if this specifically is a person from your past, I think you're going to pass, okay? If this is a new person, I think you acknowledge the opportunity for that emotional connection, but you're just not ready for it. You're just not in the mental space for it. So when I get readings like this, I kind of feel like this is a cross-watcher reading. So if you are currently attracted to a Scorpio or somebody with strong Scorpio placements, they're choosing themselves at this time. They want to move forward with whatever it is that has their attention as far as what they're working on, their crafts, their hobbies. They're not necessarily interested in a love connection, and they're going to avoid it at all costs. And it is also possible that they might circle the block or spin the block, or whatever the term is that people use to talk about people coming into your life. But I just think that you're not going to get this person's attention right now. And I think if you force the issue, it will become an issue for you. I think that this person, I think Scorpio, is quite capable of hurting your feelings over this. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I just mean like if you don't know how to take no for an answer, you're going to be very disappointed. Okay, so that's for my cross watchers out there. For my Scorpios, I think that you're just focused on your stability right now. You're focused on your home life, especially if you have children. You might be divorced. You might be a single parent. And you're focused on that right now. You don't want to let anybody down. You don't want to disappoint anybody. And you don't want to commit yourself to something that you know you don't have the time or the attention to give to right now. So I applaud you for that, Scorpio. Honestly, if it would be a much better world if we could acknowledge what we don't have the capacity for, so that that thing can go and find another person, or so that person can go and find another connection, right? So acknowledging that you don't have the capacity for romance right now is incredibly important. And whenever it does become a priority for you, again, I don't see it being a problem. I just don't think that you want to be distracted right now. And I can totally appreciate that because I'm vibing the same way. All right, Scorpio, this is what I have for you guys. I hope that this was helpful or enlightening in some way. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will be with you next time.